Welcome back. It is Wednesday, November 13th in the NBA. My best bets are on the way. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. We're going to break down a bunch of these different games, give you my favorite props, and we have a couple spread and total picks later on in this video. But as always, we start the video recapping how we did the previous day. And the last few days have just been kind of like on a treadmill. We keep just barely breaking even. Mikal Bridges, we barely cashed his overhanded with 14 on the dot. Joel Embiid's under was arguably greatest read of the year. What did he end with, like 3 rebounds? He looked not great. Magic minus 5.5 was a sweat-free winner. Logan's hit 5 straight spread picks. He's got another one later on in this video. Giannis over an assist, 6.5. I don't even want to see the number of potential assists he had because I swear they bricked every shot off of his passes. But no surprise, the line's up to 7.5 today. Honestly, don't hate it. He didn't get the 10, but he got the 6.5. We'll take it. 2 bad reads, though, Najee Marshall and Clint Capella. Capella really, I don't think it was a terrible read. He only played like 17, 18 minutes. He just was the GOAT in those minutes or whatever, and Najee Marshall just did not come through. One that really annoyed me, Anthony Simons. Over in points plus assists, our other 1.5 unit play. He obviously got injured. There's nothing we can do there, guys. We just got to move on. Guy getting injured in the first quarter. We didn't even have a chance to get done. But, hey, whatever. It is what it is. Let's move on. Let's have a good day. I know a hot streak's coming, and let's hope it starts today. We got a lot of action. Only tomorrow. There's only one game on. So, hey, we'll have 7 picks today. Probably only 1 tomorrow, if that, if we can't find anything with value. But we'll dive into that game later on tomorrow. I think it's Jazz Mavericks. But let's dive into the games today. We'll have an NFL video live later on today. Just hit that subscribe button. Drop a like. Don't miss out. First pick of the day. No bigger plays. They all 1 unit or half unit. James Harden over 21.5 points, minus 120 on DraftKings. This was 21.5 on every single book when I was posting out to our DubClub. So as always, if you want all the picks, as the moment I placed my own bet, you can definitely check out the DubClub. I posted there, and look, it's cool. The lines will move. I can't control the lines moving, and hopefully it doesn't impact people, but it's going to happen. Sometimes it moves in the wrong direction, but most often it will probably move in our direction, which is obviously sometimes decent. But let's talk about James Harden and why I like his over in points tonight. I still like it at 22.5, but keep in mind these lines can be sharp. Harden is over, not great this season, but he's over in 6 of 11 games. And you look at him averaging about 21 points per game. The games he's gone under, 5 of the 6, he shot less than 35%. The other game, I think he only shot like 11 times. So it wasn't a game he shot a ton. But again, I can't control if he doesn't make his shots, and I'm not going to come on here tomorrow and complain if he just doesn't make his shots because he's been doing that pretty consistently this season. But again, I think this is a terrific matchup for him. We did fade James Harden in his last matchup against the Thunder. I think it's a good bounce back spot for him against the Houston Rockets. Now, Harden, if you want to look at the ways he's scoring, 25% of his points per game come from free throws, 23% via isolation, so one-on-one against the guy, and about 22% being the pick and roll ball handler. PNR is all abbreviated that because I don't want to type in pick and roll, but PNR is what that means. The Rockets, if you look at them defensively, they rank 21st, 27th, and 19th defensively. So nearly a bottom 10 unit at every single metric where James Harden scores his points. And we're talking about not just 10 points per game. This is basically 75% of the points James Harden scores are via these actions. And we've talked before, we've taken overs against the Houston Rockets, notably Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We took his over against him, and he cooked them alive. Now, Shai, much different from James Harden, but again, 2 guys with elite usage, and you normally want to target guards overs and points versus the Rockets, and here's why. The Rockets this season ranked 7th defensively versus spot-up shooters. They allow the second fewest catch and shoot made threes per game, and the fewest catch and shoot 3-point attempts in the league by a pretty sustainable margin, and also the fewest assists per game. Now, I'm not taking James Harden's under an assist because I know the moment I do that, they won't miss on his assist chances. So I'll count me out there, but they're going to force James Harden to score. They basically will trust Dillon Brooks to be their primary defender there, and they're going to live with it. And I'm honestly living with that too. I think you would want James Harden to try to go out there and score and shoot the basketball, and we'll take our chances if we're getting some high volume, 15-ish field goal attempts, and him getting to the free throw line 5, 6, maybe even more times. And if you want a narrative play, he's obviously returning back to Houston, where he spent a large majority of his career. Harden's last 5 games versus Houston, 24, 21, 28, 24, and 21 points. So over in 3 of 5, on the hook twice. The 2 games he missed, 1 game he shot 4 for 19, still got to 21 points. The other one, Kawhi and Paul George combined for 50 points. Well, Kawhi and Paul George, I'll let you know right now, aren't combining for 50 points tonight because neither of them play. Paul George obviously on the Sixers and Kawhi's obviously injured. So again, I'm not afraid of the Dillon Brooks shadow coverage. I think you'll see James Harden be able to get to the free throw line a good amount tonight. And ultimately, he's going to be needed to score on the road in Houston. Hopefully he starts making some shots tonight. If he makes shots, this is an easy over. I'm only putting one unit on it because James Harden, historically, he sucks whenever I bet on him, but I think he comes through today. My second play before I throw it to Logan, looking for a 6 straight spread winner, will be an under. And if you don't like unders, you don't have to take it. Simple as that. Brandon Ingram, under 24.5 points, minus 121 on Caesars. I'd play this down to 22.5. People in my Discord didn't like this one. Hey, you don't have to love the picks. You don't have to tail them. Like I said, I just give out what I'm picking and betting in these videos. And I've had historically a pretty good track record. I'm not going to cash every single bet, but you bet my plays over the long run, you're probably going to make money. I've shown that over the last few years. Why am I fading Brandon Ingram here? Well, tough spot. Now, obviously, I know Brandon Ingram is one of the only healthy Pelicans left. Zion's out, DeJounte Murray's out, CJ McCollum's out, Jose Alvarado's out. So, sure, Ingram might see some more field goal attempts. But on the flip side, he's going to have to facilitate for this team because they don't really have any other facilitators. It's him and Brandon Boston. So, again, it's a very tough spot against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Only 3 players have scored 25 or more points against the Thunder this season. Russell Westbrook, who they begged to shoot, Steph Curry, and Norm Powell. Again, not a lot of number one options on this team. In fact, the only number one option is Stephen Curry. And in that game, he made 7 threes and shot 57%. Westbrook and Norm shot 67. So again, if Brandon Ingram makes 7 threes tonight, sure. Yeah, he's probably going over, but go bet that. Sure, I'll live with it if that's what we're going to lose on. But my point enough is that it's tough to score 25 or more on the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the best defenses in the NBA. Obviously, now down Chet Holmgren, but you insert a bunch of small ball guys. So it's not like Ingram's going to get a center on him where he's like, all right, let me cook, get the heck out of the way. It's going to be like, all right, fine, I got a 6'7" guy on me. I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on me. Let me go try to cook him. All these guys are good defenders. If he drives, he's going to see help coverage coming his way. And he's going to basically be defended by a 95th or better percentile defender all game long. So you're going to get probably Lou Dort on him to start, Caruso off the bench. It's a tough spot. And this season, OKC ranks first defensively against the pick and roll and in isolation. That's where you're going to see Brandon Ingram have to score. They rank 28th on spot up shooting. So if you're looking for a guy that I think might have a good day, Trey Murphy might be that guy. But again, I'm not getting involved there. Typically, Ingram averages about 20% of his points via spot up shooting. But that's not where he's really good. I mean, you're not getting a lot of spot up shots where other guys are driving and kicking it to you. They're going to keep a guy on Brandon Ingram all game long. I don't actually mind his over and assists. Also, Pelicans are 14.5 point underdogs on the road. So this is a one-game road trip for them. Would it shock anyone if they get smoked? No. And I don't think they need to play Brandon Ingram into the ground if they're getting smoked because he's basically their only healthy player left. So I like Brandon Ingram under 24.5 points today. I like his over and assists, but I like his under in points. And that's what I will take. Now I'm going to throw it to Logan. He's hit 5 straight spread picks. You guys were chirping him out of the craziness. He struggled to start the year. It's the beginning of the NBA season. People are going to struggle, but he's hit 5 straight winners. 4 underdogs, 1 favorite. I know today he has an underdog again. Logan, the floor is yours. Let's get a 6 straight winner.
Yes, let's make it 6 straight spread winners. And today I'm back on the underdog system. I'm taking the Bulls plus 8.5, minus 112 odds on FanDuel is your best value. Now, we won with a favorite yesterday, back on the underdog train. You'll see kind of why I like this one. The Knicks are coming off a great win in Philly. Now they face the Bulls at home in Madison Square Garden. All the key numbers are in play for the Bulls. I've mentioned time and time again, win margins up to 7. If you can get any of those numbers on your side for an underdog, you're playing the numbers game, and that's what we're doing here. This is also the first back-to-back of the season for the Knicks with a banged-up Brunson who's probable, so he should play. But this is still just not a great spot for the Knicks because last season the Knicks were just 4-9 against the spread on zero rest, which was 4th worst in the NBA. We're gonna put that theory to test tonight. Hopefully the Bulls once again prove that the Knicks are not the best team on the back end of a back-to-back. Hopefully they can use that rest advantage on their side. The Chicago also second best in opponent 3-point made percentage. That's key against the Knicks team that is 7th best in 3-point field goal percentage and attempts the 12th most threes. This is a Knicks team that doesn't necessarily live and die by the 3, but if you can defend it well, you give yourself a chance to be in this game, even keep it within a score or 2. Hopefully the Bulls do that as well. They also have the offense to cover big numbers, which is why I took the Bulls in the last spot, against the juggernaut Cavs. I got a little pushback for that one, but I said they have the offense to be able to go up and down the floor, and they play at a fast pace. They're 12th in points per game, not elite, but still hovering near there. First in pace, they play fast. 10th in 3-point field goal percentage. So they do shoot a good amount of threes. They push the pace. Teams like that I want to back because they can go score for score with these teams and cover big numbers. The three ball should also be there for Chicago. The Knicks 13th in opponent 3-point percentage allowed and just 20th in defensive rating. I know this is a Thibodeau coach team, but just being 20th in defensive rating is not necessarily elite. I think the Bulls can exploit that, especially on the back end of a back-to-back where the legs might be a little bit tired and the Bulls playing at a faster pace. I like the Bulls a lot in this one as my favorite spread pick. Now, I do want to mention, I'm looking at that Celtics-Nets game. I have a potential added play in that one. It really just depends on if Tatum plays. That I need to see in the afternoon when the injury reports and stuff come out, because the Celtics are in the back of an end of a back-to-back. That's going to change around the numbers a little bit in that one. But I am looking at targeting the Celtics in that one. So I'll let you know my thoughts on that one. Austin will update the pinned comment. He'll send out a tweet on the Calling Our Shot Twitter. But yeah, right now just have Bulls on my card. Love that as my favorite spread pick of the day. Hopefully we continue to stay hot with the spread picks. But Austin, throwing it back to you.
All right, there we go. Chicago Bulls plus 8.5. As Logan talked about, there's a good chance we add the Celtics either first half or spread, but check out that pinned comment. We're going to wait for some injury news, which obviously is going to fluctuate the line. Now, since Logan has a game pick, I'm going to have a rare game pick, and then I'll dive into two final props. And look, I like this game pick. I don't do a lot of them. I think I'm 4-1 or 3-1 on the season on them. So when I do them, I'm normally pretty confident here. This is just a half unit play on Blazers team total under 106.5, which is minus 108 on FanDuel. Now, last night, my spread pick lean was Blazers plus 8.5. And I even talked about it in the video. I said, surely the Timberwolves beat up on this Blazers team. It was getting smoked by 40 points. Surely they smoke them. My analysis basically was, that's why I'm betting on Anthony Simons. Well, I think they cover this game, and if they're covering, Anthony Simons probably having to do a good job. He gets injured. Nothing you can do there. But again, they won by 14 points. Last night, Minnesota, Portland, what did they score? 122. They shot 18 of 32 from the three-point line, 56%. They shot 51% as a team. Really, only Jeremy Grant was the one guy on the team that struggled. Everyone else, I mean, he shot 5 for 15, I think. Everyone else, absolutely scorched earth. They could not miss. Delano Blanton, he's like 4 for 4 from 3. They could not miss from the three-point line. Boom, I'm fading them. This season, the Blazers are under this line in 8 of 12 games, and they have not gone over in back-to-back games all season long. I don't know what the Timberwolves locker room looked like after yesterday's loss, but I bet you they got chirped the heck out of their defensive effort. And I would not be shocked if you see tonight they lock in defensively. This is a team in the Blazers. They're not a good offensive team. Now down arguably their best scorer in Anthony Simons. Sure, you could say, hey, Portland made those shots, tip my cap to them. If they make them again, back-to-back games, sure, I'll tip the cap once again to them. This is just a bad spot. Back-to-back games. Timberwolves are a much better defensive team than what they showed last night. They will be locked in defensively on a back-to-back, going up against a team that just absolutely torched you. Yeah, no. Count me out on the Blazers today. Give me their team total under. I think they get clamped. I don't even know if they break 100. So I'll take their team total under here. My only slight concern is if this is a blowout and you see the garbage time guys come in and they just start playing a pickup game where it's just left and right, free layups. That could happen. But again, I'll live with it if that's the case. Give me the Blazers team total under 106.5. I'll wrap up the video with two more props. The first one, we'll call it the 6th and 7th pick in the video because it's two bets on the same player, but they're a little bit different. Here it is. It's on Devin Booker. 2 Devin Booker plays, we'll call it. The first one is a parlay. It is a 2-leg parlay, both on Devin Booker, a same-game parlay. It's Devin Booker under 28.5 points, parlayed with his over 6.5 assists. This is plus 284 on DraftKings. I'm playing that for a half unit. I'll talk about why I like both those legs. The second play is also a half-unit play. Devin Booker, 10-plus assists, which is plus 525 on Bet365. You might also get similar value to Devin Booker double-double. I consider doing that. Unlikely he gets 10 rebounds, but you might get actually decent odds if the assists aren't there. Just look at the double-double. If they're pretty close to value, I don't mind going to the double-double. The difference this morning was plus 450 to plus 525 for the assists, so I'll do the assists, and that way I don't even have to count on Devin Booker to score 10 points. Obviously, if you're looking for individual lines, you're on a PrizePicks, the Sleeper, an Underdog Fantasy, you can use code COS to get a deposit match. All those places, I obviously like the over and assist for Book and the under in points, and I'll talk about why. Obviously, these lines kind of go hand in hand. If D-Book's not scoring a lot of points and he's dishing, we could be in a good spot. Now, why am I taking Devin Booker's under in points? We'll start there. Why do I like D-Book's under? Booker, number one, has struggled on back-to-backs. We took this last year. He averaged 22.5 points per game on 44% shooting on 0 days rest last year. So back-to-backs, he was not very good, not very aggressive. He's under this line 9 of his last 12 zero rest games, so 0 days back-to-backs, including scoring 21 points, and they're only one they've had this year. The Kings also are a pretty bad matchup for Devin Booker. Now you might be thinking, Kings, oh, they're going to run fast and back and forth. Yeah, but that's not how they defend Devin Booker. They really try to get the ball out of his hands. And we just saw these two teams play just a second ago. They played a few days ago. That game went to overtime. I don't even think D-Book scored an OT. But the Kings and Suns, like I said, just played an OT. The Kings won that game by 9. In that game, Booker, 23 points, 12 assists on 24 potential assists. So the proof was there. They were like, you know what? That we don't want Booker. This was, I believe, the Suns' first game without Kevin Durant. They didn't want Devin Booker to beat them by themselves, and they saw them kind of doubling him, forcing him to kick it out to shooters, and it obviously translated into a win for the Kings roster. So I can't imagine they're changing up the defensive game plan. Yesterday, I didn't mind D-Book's over an assist. Obviously, it didn't come to fruition. I think tonight it does, and we've seen this in the same matchup. Booker's last 6 games for Sacramento, he's under 28.5 points in all 6. And he's over the 6.5 assists in 5 of 6 games. So a pretty good hit rate there. I mean, the first play, the parlay, has hit in 5 of his last 6 against this Kings team. And he's had 10 plus assists in 2 of those 6. So again, I think this is a good spot to back D-Book. If you look at the Kings, where do they struggle defensively? Spot up shooting. And we talk about this team and the Suns and Mike Budenholzer. They're surrounded by spot-up guys. I don't know if Yusuf Nurkic plays, but I don't really need him shooting threes. But other guys in the lineup, Ryan Dunn, he's been pretty good for him. Grayson Allen off the bench, a great spot-up shooter. This is the Kings team that struggles there, 30th defensively on spot-up shooting. They're top 5 in catch-and-shoot three-pointers allowed, three-pointers made. Again, that is not where Booker scores majority of his points. In fact, Booker scores about 75% of his points in areas where the Kings rank top 10 defensively. So this should be a spot where D-Book should be looking to drive, kick it to his teammates. They should knock down some shots. I don't see them changing the game plan. He just had 12 assists against them, and they didn't even shoot well in that game. If they shoot even better tonight, I think we could see him approach at least 12 assists. So I like these 2 plays. The first one is a parlay, D-Book under in points, over an assist. The second one is just counting on him to get assists. I'm just risking a half unit on each of these. Obviously, we would love if you hit 10 plus assists and went under in points. That would be a big night, but I really like this play here. Hopefully, you guys understand the 2 plays on the screen. And then my final play of the day is just a regular 1 unit bet. It's on a guy that has a great first name. Austin Reaves, over 2.5 made 3-pointers at plus 110 on BetMGM. Now, I would play this at about minus 115. I don't see a lot of value if it gets into the minus 120s, minus 125. Probably count me out there, but I like this for 1 unit. Obviously, he plays for the Lakers. He's a great first name. He would never hurt me. I'll talk about my luck on 3-pointer props at the end of this analysis. Now, since D'Angelo Russell has moved to the bench, Reaves has had the ball in his hands more, and it's yielded to a lot of good results, but he's also been asked to shoot more. Obviously, you think about a Lakers team, Anthony Davis should play tonight. LeBron will play tonight. And then you got Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, and now Cam Reddish in the lineup. Now, what do Rui and Cam Reddish do? Get the hell in the corners and get out of the way. It's Austin Reaves, LeBron, and AD show kind of rotating here and about. And without D'Lo, they just don't have any volume shooters. And JJ Redick, as we know, if you've ever watched this podcast, he's all about mathematics. And that leads to, hey, we want to shoot more threes. And so they need Reaves to be a guy that shoots more threes. And hence, since D'Lo went to the bench the last 4 games, Reaves, 10, 9, 10, and 9 3-point attempts. So he's firing it up. Now it's translated to some variable success, but 3, 2, 6, and 3 made threes in those games. So again, over in 3 of the last 4 since D'Lo moved to the bench. Now, granted, I think D'Lo started in one of those games. AD was out, but you get what I point. One of those games, the only game he went under was actually against Memphis. He went 2 for 9 from 3. If he shoots 9 threes tonight, there's no way you guys are going to be mad. We have to, if you're gonna live with the volume for a 3-point prop like that. The Grizzlies, why do I love this matchup? They give up a lot of 3-pointers. The Grizzlies are allowing the most above the break threes or 3-point attempts in the NBA, second most 3-pointers made. Why I pointed out Cam Reddish and Rui Hachimura, the Grizzlies allow the 6th fewest corner 3-point attempts. So again, Austin Reaves is not a guy that sits in the corner. I think he attempts 1 3-point attempt from the corner per game, maybe 1.5. So not a lot there. That's where Cam Reddish and Rui will live. But they give up a lot of them at the top of the key. So if you try to drive, they're going to converge on you. You can kick it out. That's where you knock down your threes against them. And we've seen over the last 4 games, Reaves, 8 above the break 3-point attempts per game. He's making about 2.8 of them. So about 30-something% there. He's also attempting 5.8 catch and shoot made threes. So you're going to have LeBron the ball in his hands. He might drive. He just had 39 against the Grizzlies. Could kick it out to Reaves. And Reaves going to have the green light. He's got to shoot it. And we've seen when he shoots the ball a good amount, he has good success. Reaves, he's over this line, made 3 threes in 20 of his last 30 when he shoots 7 or more. When he's made 2 or more in 26 of 30. So again, pretty high floor there. If he's shooting 7 threes tonight, I feel pretty good about him at least making 2. 3 for 7 would be a little bit of a tough hit rate, but again, he's a good enough shooter to knock those down. And what happens if he shoots the 8, 9, 10 like he's been shooting the last few games? You got to take our chances there. So I like Austin Reaves over in 3-pointers tonight, over 2.5 made threes. We are due a guide to make threes for us. We have bet 3 3-point props this season. Those guys have shot collectively 2 for 7, 2 for 9, and 2 for 8. Those guys are what? 6 for 24? We're betting on guys to make threes. These are all good shooters. We're talking about Jeremy Grant, Wembanyama, and Keegan Murray. 3 of those guys, and they've made 25% of threes. Austin Reaves, buck the trend. You're hillbilly Kobe for a reason. I need 3 3-pointers tonight. So again, I like Austin Reaves over in threes. Those are my favorite picks of the day. Hopefully you guys locked in these with me. I think we're going to have a great day. We're going to have a hot streak. I guarantee it always happens like this. We have a couple days. We're just trying to fight through the mud. And then boom, that one big day comes. And then we kind of get that momentum where finally the luck is kind of bouncing our way. I've had some good reads. Had a couple bad reads yesterday. I'll own those. But again, I've really liked the slate today. We only have 1 game on tomorrow. So we might not even have any picks. But either way, appreciate you guys for tuning in. A couple videos will be live later on today. So tap into those. That's Austin signing out. Peace.